I respect everybody until they earn my disrespect. So I suppose most of you have heard Obungho fomenting on how he can't get anything done because Congress and Senate and the American people are too busy with fake, drummed up, there's no there, scandals. Really? So let me see. Bunch of people died in Fast and Furious. Not just Agent Terry, because a lot of Mexican citizens have died as a result of Holder sending AK-47s, big, heavy weapons, over the border to Mexico to known, notoriously mean, ruthless Mexican drug cartels. That's not fake. There's nothing fake about that. We we know Holder got in front of Congress and lied during that little event. We're supposed to just forget about a border agent that got killed during this. We just off the top of our heads made up the fact that Janet Napolitano just on her own discretion let, geez, what was it, over 200 illegal alien felons out onto our streets on just her say-so. She had no reason to do it. She said it was because sequester, but it hadn't kicked in yet, so she was lying, bald-faced lying. But I guess that's a figment of our imagination. Then we had an IRS scandal that when it broke, Obunghole himself was excoriating the IRS. He was going to get to the bottom of this. The American people should be able to trust and not have to worry about one of their government agencies going rogue and coming after them. And wow, now it's a fake. Wow. You know, I remember 4 men dying in Benghazi, and if I'm not mistaken, there's over 30 survivors that have yet to speak. How can that possibly be? 30 people that won't speak? I find that very hard to swallow. But that's fake. That's 4 men died. Get over it. Get past it. That's fake. Wow. Then we had the AP, not just the AP, but a Fox reporter targeted by Holder, again with Holder, because then he got in front of Congress and lied for the second time. Lied to Congress. Second time. On a different issue. Just figment of my imagination. I mean, I got it recorded on disc, but I just must have made all of that shit up. Wholesale. It's just fake. It's not real. Oh, what else do we have? My goodness. Insane. 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 These are examples of a government gone rogue. If people can just indiscriminately do whatever the hell they want, I mean, I can go on and on. We had Supreme Court clerks who, when Orly Tate showed up with her case against Obunghole for fraudulent use of a Social Security number, she had everything all put together nice, and she had her evidence that he was a fraud, and the Supreme Court justices were scheduled, because you have to schedule, but they were scheduled to look at this evidence. Orly Tate dropped the evidence off, and through the course of Supreme Court protocol, I guess, these Supreme Court clerks are to give this information to the Supreme Court justices who review it and either reject or say, yes, we will see this case. But it seems that Supreme Court justices just kept the whole case from the judges ever seeing it. and then fraudulently made up paperwork that is, the chain of custody, basically, when Tates went back to make sure that the justices saw her hard work, her brief. So they faked the paperwork. These are lowly Supreme Court justices, or I'm sorry, the clerks. If a Supreme Court clerks, who, I might remind you, take allegiance to nobody, they take no oath. Remember that. That should scare you. That should scare all of us. They take no oath of allegiance, not to the United States, not to truth and justice, not to anything, except maybe the highest bidder. So all of these things that I'm reciting here are some very, very egregious overstepping of our government all over you and I. Supreme Court is supposed to be our last vestige of justice. When there's nothing else, there's the Supreme Court. But we find that the Supreme Court, who can somehow, I've read the Constitution backwards, forwards. There's nowhere in there that says the government can make me buy anything for any reason. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says that the government can spy on me for any reason. These are illegal search and seizure. When they take your records, oh, we don't read your emails, oh, we don't listen to your phone calls. Well, first of all, yes, they do. It's been known by me for years that there are certain keywords in any phone conversations that if they come up, they get flagged, and somebody reviews that phone call. So for them to tell you that nobody's listening on your call is an absolute bald-faced lie. Anyway, these constitutional infringements, and they're very huge, to take that phone call, and they're lying when they tell you they don't listen to it, because they do, but even to just store it is a seizure. That is a form of seizure. Can't do it. There you go. It's a constitutional infringement. It is totally unconstitutional. This big place they're building out in Utah is totally unconstitutional. Because some asshole tells you that they have to do that to fight terrorism, you cannot go against the Constitution. You must change the Constitution. Because, and I will remind everybody, that an unconstitutional law is no law at all. You do not have to follow an unconstitutional law. As a matter of fact, if you were to look into it, and there are cases on the books, please look them up, because you will win. You are not actually required to have a driver's license. You are not actually required to have a car with a license plate on it. No, you're not. So you see, that's an unconstitutional infringement on your right to free travel. A God-given right that no man can take away. It's right along the lines of being able to carry a gun anywhere, anytime to protect yourself. A God-given right. No man can take it away. Well, yet, Obongho gets up on stage and tells America that he can't get anything done. He's just having such a hard time fixing things for us because, well, the Democrats won't work with me. Oh, they won't work with me. It's them. It's always them. It's them. Now, it seems that you and I are the problem because we're paying attention to these frauds that are going on. These fraudulent scandals that we're listening to. You know, the same fraudulent scandals that the evening news doesn't tell you about. Because Benghazi did happen. Because the IRS did target folks. A lot of folks. Because they are listening in on everything you do and say. Every one of us. Every one. That's politicians, that's cops, that's judges, right up to the Supreme Court. And they're using that information for their own gains. To think otherwise is foolish. To think that people won't use the power and the information they're given for their own gains is foolish. These people are out for more power, not less. They want more power. And so they use the information that data mining gives them to get more power. Well, Bunghole tells us that these are all fake frauds, that we shouldn't listen to them, that they're smoke and mirrors, and that they're just the reason that he can't get anything done. That's funny because I saw a birth certificate that you waved in the air. I know that to be a fraud. I know that your social security number that you used on your own tax forms that you then put online was fraudulent. I know that your selective service card was fraudulent. I know that a lot of things about you come up as fraudulent. So who the hell are you to stand in front of the nation and tell us that we shouldn't pay attention to these smoke and mirrors, these fake scandals? Every day more and more and more comes out. Well, Bunghole's about to be exposed as the fraud he is. I think more and more and more people are waking up, and I think he's getting scared. I think that it's been coming to this. I believe that the American people have been assaulted and attacked religiously, financially, educational, mentally, brainwashing by our news, by our schools. I mean, look into what your children are being taught. Look into what the evening news talks about. Who gives a shit about the kid born overseas? He's third in line for the crown. I don't give a shit. I think it's quite ignorant, quite elitist, stupid even, to have some baby born that if two people die, he's all of a sudden a king at 3 years old, 10 years old, 15. Get the fuck out of here. That is the height of ignorance to me. It really is. Nobility, royalty, it's the height of ignorance to me. To say somebody is fit to rule because they were born with certain blood in their veins is absolutely ridiculous, elitist, stupid. But you need to look into what I just told you about driving a car. If you look into it, there are court cases on the books that will tell you that what I'm telling you is the absolute truth. You don't need a license. You don't need a license plate on your car. Look into it. The Supreme Court has ruled. State courts have ruled. Have a look. You'll know what I'm saying. This, my friends, is the tip of the unconstitutional iceberg that the government has been ramming down our throats since, long about the time 1913. That was the big lie. We all fell for it. Investigate. Investigate everything. Take my word for anything. Have a look for yourself. It's coming, people. I hope everybody's ready. God bless America. Good luck to us all. I think we're going to need it.